joins us for the Black History Month edition of Worth Watching. And KNB, I always love your picks. You know, you are my TV guide. And I especially can't wait for these because if anyone understands the nuances of this assignment, it is you, my friend.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm so excited to bring you this list, Tracy, because it is full of stories of Black history and of resilience, but also joy, because you know that's how I do, and that is just as important to celebrate this month.
It sure is. So what is your first pick?
Okay, my first pick is the highly anticipated Canadian drama series called The Porter, which drops at the end of the month on CBC. So it's an eight-episode miniseries. It's got an incredible ensemble cast, and it's about the Black train porters of the early 1920s who played an essential role in shaping Canada into the country that it is today, and who created the first Black labor union in North America. It's set in Saint Antoine, Montreal, which was known at the time as the Harlem of the North, which I did not know until I was reading about this show. It focuses on two Black train porters who take two very different paths to liberation. And I'm so excited for this because you know that Canada often ignores our own Black history and likes to tell a very one-dimensional perspective that positions this country, you know, as just heroic or exempt from slavery and the anti-Black racism that we know exists here too. There are so many stories to be told, and The Porter is finally telling such an important one. But wait, I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. It's Canada's largest Black-led TV series. That means that it is an entirely Black Canadian creative team, including Canada's first ever all-Black writers' room. It is long overdue. I'm so excited. Some of the names behind the scenes: Charles Officer, R.T. Thorne, Marsha Green, all of my faves. I cannot wait for everyone to watch this show.
I am sold, and that is huge. I did not know all of that. I knew about the Porters and I knew about St. Antoine, but I did not know about that. That is incredible. Okay, your next pick, I want to get on board with this. I'm hearing about it from a lot of people. It's a mockumentary. What is it?
Yes, it is called Abbot Elementary. It is created and starring Quinta Brunson, who real ones remember Quinta Brunson as just like this social media Twitter comedian when she was cracking jokes on BuzzFeed. So she started from the bottom, now she's here. This show is so funny. It's one of my favorites of the past year. It is a comedy series about teachers in Philadelphia. So they work for this very poorly funded public school in Philadelphia. And it's shot in this like mockumentary style, like The Office. It gets compared to The Office a lot. It's so funny. And it's going to teach you a lesson or two about the education system in America, which we know is not so great.
Yeah, they could use some help. We could use some help up here too, quite frankly. Let's talk about your next two picks, both vital to watch. What have you got?
Yeah, they are both vital to watch. I agree. So the first one is Woman of the Movement, and it is heartbreaking but necessary to watch this Black History Month. So it was created and written by Marissa Jo Sarar and directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, who also brought us Love and Basketball, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. So this is a mini-series about the brutal murder of Emmett Till, who was lynched in the Jim Crow South, and how his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, fought to make sure that he would not be forgotten. And her fight was one of the catalysts for the civil rights movement that, of course, we know about today. This is the first in what's intended to be an anthology series for the different women who played key roles in the movement and whose names are often forgotten. Now, this next pick is like the Canadian companion to that one. It's called Sisters in the Struggle. It's a documentary featuring Black women feminists and organizers sharing their insights and personal testimonies on the double legacy of racism and sexism. It was made in 1991 by Dion Brand, who is one of Canada's most celebrated poets and essayists and documentarians and minds in this country. It was produced by the National Film Board of Canada. And watching it now, almost over 30 years later, it's frustrating to see how much of it still rings true and how much of that struggle still continues, but it is a must-watch.
How is that 30 years ago? When you say 1990 something and you say 30 years ago, I'm like, I just need to go take a nap. What? And I love Dion Brand. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, the next pick, KNB, hits close to home, I see. What have you got for us?
Yeah, because it is set in Toronto. It is called Next Stop, and it's an anthology comedy series. We are back to the joy now. It chronicles the lives of Black Torontonians struggling to stay afloat and stay sane in the city. It's the most accurate depiction of Toronto I have ever seen on screen. It's hilarious, it's energetic, it's chaotic. Each episode is completely different, written by some of my favorite writers in the city. There is something for everyone. It has 2 seasons and they're short episodes. So if you're in the mood for a quick, fun binge, this is it.
Beautiful. You've got one more, though.
Yes, absolutely. This is a riveting drama about college football. It's called National Champions, and it stars one of my faves, Scarborough's own Stephon James. He plays a star quarterback who ignites a player strike hours before the biggest game of the year, the national championship, in order to fight for fair compensation, equality, and respect for the athletes, many of whom are Black, who put their bodies and health on the line for their schools, who are mostly run by white people who make millions of dollars off of these athletes. And we know this is playing out in real life with the NCAA, so it is such a timely story to tell.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to pick which to watch first in this list. Great list as always for Black History Month or any time of year, really. Kathleen, thank you. Before we go, I got to give you some flowers, girl. Huge shout out for your recent promotion. You are looking at the Deputy Director Global of Refinery 29 Unbothered, everyone. I'm so proud of you. And if that was not enough,